Hey guys, what's up? So, I am going to do my week 7 NFL predictions. Last week, I went, I believe, 10-5. Not as good as I did week 5, but still, it's a winning record. Alright, so, moving on from that, I don't even want to talk about last week. My Steelers lost to the Dolphins, and they lost Big Ben for a few weeks, so I don't want to talk about it. Alright, so this week we have the Chicago Bears at Green Bay Packers. Packers did just lose to the Cowboys, but it is the Bears, so I'm going to say Packers. You got Giants at Rams. I'm going to take the Giants. The Rams have a great defense, but their offense sucks, and I think the Giants' defense will be enough to keep the Rams' offense in check, and the Giants' offense is actually starting to move, though it's not because of Eli Manning. It is because of Odell Beckham Jr. finally getting on a roll this season. He's already like 5th in receiving yards, and he just had a monster 8 catches for 222 yards against the Ravens. So then you got the Browns at the Bengals. The Browns are 0-6. They have yet to win a game. Actually, did they have the bye? I don't know. I don't think they had the bye. So they should be 0-6. I know they're still winless. And the Bengals have struggled a little, but I don't see the Browns winning this. I don't see it being close. Bengals are going to win. Then you have the Redskins and the Lions. Lions have been playing pretty well, but the Redskins have finally, found their groove, and they're really starting to move. So I'm going to take the Redskins here. Then you have the Raiders and the Jaguars. Raiders didn't do too well against the Chiefs. They played the Chiefs. Didn't do too well. I think the first drive was really all they did well. And after that, the rest of the game, they mustered only 3 more points. That kind of sucks. So I'm gonna take the Raiders. The Jaguars just aren't good enough, I don't think, to beat the Raiders. Then you have the Saints and the Chiefs. I'll say a lot. The Chiefs just came off that big win with the Raiders. New Orleans' offense is pretty good, but their defense is pretty bad. Kansas City, Jamal Charles is trying to get back into the game because he had his ACL injury last year. Chiefs, Saints, Chiefs. I'm going to take the Chiefs. Then you have the Bills and the Dolphins. The Dolphins did just beat Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh suffers trap games all the time. So I don't think that means Miami's magically turning around their season, especially against a good Bills, actually great Bills defense. And if the offense can, put up some points, the Bills will be able to take this one. So I'm going to say Buffalo. Then you have the Ravens and the Jets. The Ravens did just lose to the Giants. And the Jets lost to the Cardinals on Monday Night Football. They do have a shorter week. It's only one day, but it's a shorter week. And the Jets are actually going to have Geno Smith be the starter. Ryan Fitzpatrick has thrown NFL high, so he leads the NFL. with 11 interceptions. It is at that point, week 6. That means on average, you're throwing almost 2 interceptions a game. That's not good. Now, he didn't throw any against Pittsburgh, but he almost threw one. And he did fumble one time, which he recovered. So he recovered his own fumble, and he threw a ball. The one touchdown he threw to Brandon Marshall went through the defensive back's hands. So he almost threw a pick. I'm going to say Geno Smith. Geno Smith also threw a pick against the Cardinals, putting that out there. They're not going to explore their other options because they had 4 quarterbacks going into the season. Fitzpatrick, Smith, Bryce Petty, and Christian Hackenberg. Bryce Petty is a second-year man out of, I believe, Baylor, and Christian Hackenberg is a rookie from Penn State. Though I don't think they're going to explore those options. They're going to use Geno and probably go in between Geno and Ryan. I think the only way we see Bryce and or Christian would be if Geno and Ryan both get hurt, or one of them gets hurt and, they just suck. Ravens. So, then Ravens are just going to go right over them, I think. Then you have the Vikings and the Eagles. Vikings are still undefeated. And, the people have been hopping off the Carson Wentz hype train and jumping on the Dak Prescott hype train. I'm going to say Vikings win this one. Bradford's pretty much playing the best football of his career because he did almost nothing in St. Louis and he didn't do too great in Philadelphia last year. So I'm going to say Vikings. Then you have the Colts and the Titans. Colts were predicted to bounce back this year with a healthy Andrew Luck. And, they drafted an offensive lineman or two. And, people thought they were going to do okay. They're not. I'm going to say the Titans beat the Colts. Just because they're playing terrible. San Diego and Atlanta. Well, San Diego had a great Thursday night win against Denver. They have had pretty much a mini bye week. Like when you play a Thursday night game and then you don't play till the following Sunday, and so you get realistically like 10 days, it's a mini bye. And they almost choked that game away, though. They almost choked it away. It's just Trevor Siemian couldn't throw the ball into the end zone. If he had thrown it into the end zone, it could have been a different story. But he didn't even hit the end zone. I don't think that, them holding on one time to a fourth quarter lead, it probably saved the coach's job for now, but it's not going to be enough against Atlanta. Their offense is red hot, and their defense is pretty good too. I'm going to say the Falcons win that one. Then you have the Bucks and the 49ers. Colin Kaepernick, he did, realistically, he did kind of crappy. At best, he did okay. I watched the game. I go to school in Buffalo, so it was on TV. And, the Bills' defense is really good. Though they trash-talked Colin afterward, saying he couldn't throw, he said he was terrible, shouldn't be in the league, blah, 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 blah. Jameis Winston was struggling earlier. Not sure if he will anymore. I'm going to pick Tampa Bay, though, just because, 49ers. Then you have New England at Pittsburgh. I'm regretting this game ever being right now, because Big Ben has already been rolled out. He has, I think he slightly tore his meniscus, and it was just kind of a repair job. It wasn't a full surgery. But Landry Jones is starting. Now, last time Pittsburgh got blown, that big blowout loss was Week 3 against Philadelphia, who people thought, it's just it's Carson Wentz doing it all. But actually, they're kind of an okay team. Okay, they're on the border of okay and good, or all right and good. They're trying to prove that they're a good team and that they can battle for that division. And Pittsburgh said okay. They practiced hard, they bounced back, and they completely destroyed the Chiefs. But they had Big Ben. The game with the Chiefs was Le'Veon Bell's first game back. Now with Landry Jones starting, they're not going to start Zach Mettenberger. He's only been there a month and a half. He doesn't know the playbook to the full extent. Landry does, and people will argue that Landry's a better quarterback than Zach. But, Zach has had more starting experience. And I see them riding Le'Veon Bell down the field. Just handoff, handoff, handoff. A couple screens maybe. I don't see them really trying to air it out. I just don't see it happening. If you do fantasy, don't pick a Steelers receiver. Don't put Antonio Brown on your fantasy this week. Don't do it. It kills me to say this, but New England's going to win. They're going to win. Unless if Pittsburgh suddenly decides to, pull a win out of their butt. You know what? If Pittsburgh wins this, fantastic. I will be wrong about this all day. I don't care. But I pick who I think is going to win, not who I hope is going to win. If it was who I hope is going to win, I would obviously pick Pittsburgh, but they're not going to win. Okay, then you have Seattle and Arizona. Arizona just beat the Jets, but Carson Palmer, I believe, is hurt again. So I'm going to pick the Seahawks. Then you got Houston and Denver. Now, Denver did just come off the loss to San Diego. And the Texans came back at last minute to beat the Colts in overtime. That was a pretty awesome comeback. But I'm going to say the Broncos, because the Colts defense is nowhere near the Broncos defense. Now, Brock Osweiler, he spent his rookie contract, the first 4 years of his career, in Denver, and then came to Houston, went to Houston. So he may know the defense a little bit from practice and be able to manipulate it a little, but besides that, I don't see it happening. I say the Broncos win in the Monday night game. Okay, that is it. Those are all the games. 15 games, I believe. So, alright. Let's see if we can go a perfect 15-0, but I will take 14-1 if it's the Patriots losing to Pittsburgh, though I don't see it happening. So, that is it for my picks. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you didn't, then go watch someone else's video. If you're new, subscribe. Talk to you guys soon.